You're listening to Real Talk Texas on 570 KLIF News and Information. Now, live in studio, your host, local real estate expert Steve Hakes.
Good morning, DFW. Welcome to Real Talk Texas, part of the Real Estate Radio Network here on 570 KLIF. You can always reach me with your personal questions by visiting our website at realtalktexas.com. That's realtalktexas.com. Where real experts are here to talk to you about your questions in the DFW market. Or you can simply call me when I'm off the air at 214-643-6021. That's 214-643-6021. And yes, I'm a federally licensed mortgage originator, NMLS license number 242522. This morning our topic is how to protect yourself when buying and how to protect yourself while you own your home. And today, to help us explore this topic, I've got David Selman, a licensed advanced certified inspector, as well as president of Selman Home Inspections. David and I will talk about the importance of getting a home inspection and when to get it done, how much you can expect to pay for it, and why it's so important to get a home inspection when you're getting ready to buy or sell your home. We are also joined by Sharon Harrison, president of Texas-based Nations Home Warranty. Sharon will be offering tips about and information about how to make sure you're not caught off guard and being faced with huge repair bills once you get into your home. And also, as well, the risk of hiring people to make those repairs that may not be licensed or bonded. So we'll start with David. Okay, David, I'm getting ready to buy a house. I've talked with my realtor, and we've written a contract. I've fallen in love with this house, and she's mentioned to me, or she or he has mentioned to me that, hey, you may want to get a home inspection. You've got an inspection period in the contract here, which is like 5 to 10 days from the time everybody agrees to the price. So, do I really need to get a home inspection?
Steve, yes, people do need to get a home inspection when they're buying a home. Most people, and oftentimes including their realtors, will walk through a home, and their perception is mainly about the cosmetic, the visual feel. The home inspection is really designed to identify any defects or potential problems or errors with mechanical and structural type issues. People that don't get a home inspection when they move in will oftentimes face unexpected expenses that they wouldn't have otherwise incurred.
So when you go into a house and you're going to do an inspection, I mean, I've already walked through it. I kind of looked at things myself before I made the home offer. Mm-hmm. What are the type of things that you look for? What things would you see that I wouldn't see?
Well, for example, will a person walking around the outside of the house, will they know the difference between a crack in a foundation and a crack in the skim coat, the cosmetic coating put on the outside of the foundation wall? Would they be able to identify if there's a small crack in a wall someplace? Is it correlated with a foundation or structural issue? And we're trained to do that. Same with working with all of the appliances. Your air conditioning, when you walk into a home, it might feel nice and cool in the house, but our job is to identify, is it within the operating ranges, the temperatures that it should be in? We're going to look at everything from the foundation to the shingles on the house.
What about swimming pools? Do you guys inspect those as well?
We do. We're one of the inspection companies that does pools, spas, sprinklers, and all of the additional things on a house. I
know that, when I'm out looking for houses, and my wife and I are getting ready to get back into the purchase market because we've just sold our home. One of the things that I guess when I'm looking at it, okay, is it the style of house that I want? Is it decorated? Is it updated? I guess I don't even go there in my own mind as far as all the things you're talking about, because I'm more in what's the school district, mm-hmm. Do I like the house? Does the layout work for me? All of those things. How do you know? I guess if we call Selman Home Inspections and we say, hey, David, we would like to come out and do this home inspection. Do you see everything that could possibly be wrong? How deep do you go into the home?
We do our very best, and sometimes 3 to 5 hours is the typical home inspection time. We'll do our very best to identify all of the defects that we can find in a reasonable amount of time. My company, we use a modified, what we call a 3-pass approach to doing the home inspection, with each pass on the outside of the home and then another 3 to 4 passes on the inside of the home. Each time we're looking for a different set of mechanical, structural, electrical, plumbing issues, comparing those with today's Texas standards of practice and today's local building codes, which most homeowners simply aren't familiar with. So it's our job to identify those differences. If there are differences between the time the home was built and new construction standards, what we call as-built conditions, we want to make sure that homeowners are aware of those so that they can choose to make those upgrades, those additions over time. And of course, we're trying to identify if there are any major failed components of, broken foundation, missing shingles off the roof, appliances that don't work the way they should.
Now, okay, so you've gone out and you've done your inspection. You say, okay, we've got a list of these 5 or 6 things that are wrong. Do you give me an idea what it would cost to get those things fixed, or do I have to go out and shop that from other people?
Typically, no. We're not going to tell you exactly how to fix something, but what we do is both verbally and in the inspection report, we'll make recommendations. For example, if your air conditioner is not cooling within the range that it should be cooling, we'll make the recommendation that you hire a professional, certified, licensed HVAC repair technician and get estimates from 2 or 3 to make sure you're getting the best price.
So you're going to give me a heads up that, hey, I may need to check this out further before I go forward with buying the house. And something I did not do when we sold our house is I feel like I should have probably called Selman Home Inspections and had them come out and go through my house before I decided to sell it, so I could take care of some of the issues, and I wouldn't be blindsided at the time during that inspection that the buyer had a contract on my house, and all of a sudden there's this list of things that I'm very busy. I don't do that much repair around the house. My wife says I don't do much but work and eat, but so anyway, I guess is that a prudent thing for someone that's thinking about selling their house to call you at Selman Home Inspection and say, hey, can you go through this before I list it with my agent?
Absolutely. I really wish that more home sellers would do just that. And the reason is, if we do a home inspection for the seller, we can oftentimes put the marketing advantages for the property back in the home of the seller. By identifying those issues to the seller before the buyer does an inspection, they can proactively repair, make upgrades, and make their home in a better condition. Makes it easier for their agents to work with, and also makes it just easier for the home sale in general, so that the real estate transaction overall goes more smoothly. Yeah,
and I probably wouldn't have gotten that call to say, hey, we want to renegotiate our contract if we got these repairs that need to be done by you before that takes place. If you've just tuned in, you're listening to Real Talk Texas. I'm your host, Steve Hakes, and we're talking today about home inspection and warranty and what that really means to you as far as a homeowner or a home buyer and how to protect yourself. If you wanted more information, if you'd like to contact Selman Home Inspections, if you want to talk to David, just go to our website at realtalktexas.com. That's realtalktexas.com. Just click on contact, send me a quick note, and I'll get you hooked up with David. And when we come back, Sharon, I'd like to have you join us in the conversation after the break, and we'll be talking to you about home warranties and the coverage of items and how things are covered for the things that maybe possibly your home inspector, David, of Selman Home Inspections, may not have been able to physically see, and how those pre-existing conditions can be covered by home warranty. Stay tuned, and you'll hear more from Sharon of Nation's Home Warranty. Thank you very much.